Hey guys, I'm back with another Diablo video, and as promised a little earlier on in the week, I had mentioned that I would put a video together this weekend explaining my character, my builds, and what's in the cube and all that. So there's two builds. I have one for group, one for solo. This one right now is the build I use the most because I am pretty much always grouped. So yeah, this is the COE push build. It is meant more for end game when you're doing like over GR 100. So it definitely is a higher grift build. You don't need to do it at a lower level, but I really love it, so I wanted to do it at a lower level, so I do, and it does really good. So what I am using is I've got my storm armor at scramble. Archon, you can also use the combustion. I was doing that one for a while and then I swapped to the teleport. But combustion is the one a lot of people use with this build. Arcane Torrent, Static Discharge, Blizzard Snowboard, Teleport, Wormhole. Again, I used the Wormhole, but it was on Calamity, so you can use that. And then the Hydra, Lightning Hydra. And then Power Hungry, so you deal 30% additional damage. Paralysis, 15% chance stun targets for lightning. Reduce all cooldowns by 20%, Evocation, and Unstable Anomaly. When you receive fatal damage, you instantly gain a shield equal 400% of your maximum life for 5 seconds and release a shockwave that knocks enemies back and stuns them for 3 seconds. So that is what we got going on with our skills. Now, over in the cube, I have the Starfire, Fazula's Chain, and Ring of Royale. Now, as far as the rings, I did start with having the manald heal in there, but then I ended up getting a pretty good ancient. You know, better than I had anyway. So I swapped out the Ring of Royal Grand, put in the cube instead, and put the heal on me. With the Fazula, basically, we'll look at the helm. If you don't have that 4 arcane power, and the 20-second bonus on there, then cube the Swami instead and wear the Fazula. So with this set, why it's not really recommended at lower levels and it's more an end game thing is because of the need of stuff. So for instance, we'll go back to the helm. Like I said, you need the 20-second secondary, the 4 arcane power, and you'll also need the 6 crit and intellect. Now for the offhand, you need your arcane power, which I believe mine is max. Yeah. And you'll also need the 8 cooldown and the 10 crit. So for this build, it kind of relies a lot on perfect cooldown reduction. So that is definitely a big thing, and it's supposedly needed on every piece of gear other than your neck piece. So that is basically it for that build. I'll just show you my gear. So I'm using the Swami, a lot of the Talrasha. So yeah, right there. And Veer is boots, hands, and shoulders. For rings, manald heal, convention of elements, and then the grand which is in the cube. Serpent Sparker, big thing you need. So that if you don't have the Serpent Sparker, that is the number one thing, in my personal opinion, that you should be trying to get. So yeah, that is the gear for that. I'm still working on an ancient Serpent Sparker. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to actually go to the cube for that one and re-roll it. So that is the gear, and that is for a group build. I have soloed some stuff with it, but I'm not sure how far up you can go really soloing it. So this is my solo. So now for the solo, we have energy armor, force armor, Archon combustion, magic missile, glacial spike, magic weapon deflection, teleport calamity, black hole, spell steal, and pretty much all the same passives. Yeah, I believe they're exactly the same actually. Yeah. In the cube, we got Starfire, but I'm still kind of working on this one because I was using a different solo build. So the Starfire is not what you want in the cube. I'm still, like I said, it's kind of a new solo build, so I am still gathering some items. So for the weapon, you want Aether Walker. And that makes it so that your teleport no longer has a cooldown, but it uses arcane power instead. Now for the armor slot, you don't want the Fazula in there. You want a Swami, and you want to be wearing the Fazula. And the ring, that is the ring you want in the cube. But if need be, you can swap around the rings. The rings are exactly the same as the other set. So for gear, we have the Telrasha hood, a lot of Telrasha. This you want to be Fazula instead of the Telrasha. And this you want to be the Ancient Parthen. And what else we got? Instead of the Serpent Sparker, you want your Starfire in there, because this build doesn't actually use Hydra. Now for this build, this is one of the strongest solo builds. There's a guy that did 112 solo with this build, so yeah. And also one other thing to note is you will need about 63% cooldown reduction. And also, I don't have the bracers yet, but you want to be rolling lightning on those bracers. And definitely have some arcane power on crit for your offhand. So basically, the goal with this build is that you're gathering your Archon stacks and you're waiting for the Lightning COE cycle to take effect. And then before it comes up, you pop into Archon. And that adds like 200% damage. And yeah. And then when you're not in Archon, you gotta basically maintain your Gogok stacks and just group up the enemies, and that will do bigger damage. So yeah, that is that build, and that is all I really got for you guys today, and I hope that helped you guys. I realize these builds are kinda, they're meant for hire, so, but I have been using them pretty much from the start. So just because they're meant for higher doesn't mean they're not good for lower. They're just really the builds that you would use to go even further. So yeah, that's all I got, guys. I will see you in the next video. Bye.